Today we're going to be playing the White Rose Anti-Nazi Resistance Simulation. And helping us today are...
Jackson.
And Cassie.
All right, so in this, to determine kind of what happens to you, we have several different cards that you'll be asked to draw. We have a morality card, survivor card, suspicion card, and also a knowledge card. So whenever we do a check, you roll 4 dice. And one thing that makes this a little bit different from our other games is usually when you have a tie, you re-roll. Here, you lose ties because it is hard to fight the Nazis, right? That's kind of the idea there. But you can spend 2 knowledge points to change a failure into a success.
Perfect.
So which of the following is not a reason why some Germans supported the Nazis, as discussed in the video lecture? A. Germany faced serious economic problems that some Germans hoped that the Nazis could resolve. B. The Nazis promised to expand international trade with ethnic Germans in other countries. C. Some Germans did not agree with the Nazis but supported them because they were strong and anti-communist. Or D. Some hoped that the Nazis could wipe away the shame of the defeat and the problematic peace that followed World War I.
I want to say B, but
Okay.
I could be wrong.
B.
That is correct.
Okay. So we get 1 knowledge.
You get a knowledge, yes. Alrighty, so you are playing as the friends of Hans and Sophie. And it's the 1930s in Nazi Germany. Yeah, you're friends with Hans and Sophie Scholl, older brother and younger sister, who are in their teens. Hans is a member of the Hitler Youth, and Sophie is a member of the Hitler Maidens. This is required. Their dad isn't happy about it. They enjoy being members of these groups because they do a lot of fun things together with friends, like go camping. And what would happen here is if you were in person, I would show you the video of the Hitler Youth where they talk about like how they fought each other in the camp, and they're given daggers, and I talk about how that's different from a knife, right? So it's a tool, it's a weapon rather than a tool. And where there's the one where the kid draws his dagger on his mom and says, I belong to the Fuhrer, not to you. So there are some problems also that they see. Though initially Hans and Sophie begin to question the Hitler Youth. It all seems rather mindless, and they both like to think and learn. Sophie is angered when the works of the Jewish poet Heinrich Heine are outlawed, and Jewish friends cannot join Hitler Maidens despite looking more Aryan than she does. Sophie is a brunette, but she has a couple of Jewish friends who are blonde and blue-eyed, but they can't join, even though they look more Aryan. Mm-hmm. Hans has a book taken away from him that was written by Jewish author Stefan Zweig, and because he sang Russian, Swedish, and Balkan folk songs, which is, I think that's impressive the kid could do that. But they did not like that. He got in trouble. Even so, Hans becomes a leader in the Hitler Youth and creates a flag for the unit he leads. But a higher rank leader says that the flag is against the rules and wants to take it away. Hans wants to resist. What do? Do you help Hans, or you just stay back?
Help him.
Help him.
Alrighty. If you decide to help, make a check. So you would roll all 4 dice, counting failures and successes.
After you.
We lost.
We can use a knowledge.
We need 2.
2 knowledge. Okay.
Oh, I think you had 3 successes.
Only 1. I mean, only 2.
Only 2. Okay, yeah, so you lost. So, if you resisted but failed, gain a suspicion card and a morality card. If you would have succeeded, you would have gained the morality card, but you would have gained a survivor card instead. Alrighty, yes. Werner Scholl, the younger brother of Hans and Sophie, wants to put a blindfold on the Statue of Justice in front of the courthouse in Ulm to protest Nazi injustice, such as the loss of judges' independence from the Nazi Party. I think it's interesting, right, that their justice can see. And so they see adding a blindfold as like a protest, saying the government's like blind, it doesn't know what it's doing, whereas we want justice to be blind.
Right.
But in any case, he wants you to be a lookout. Do you help?
Yes.
Yes.
That seems very...
I don't know if that's a good look.
I mean, like, we're going to lose. But yes, we should
you
help
have 2
him.
knowledge points, don't you?
No.
Just 1.
Just
Oh,
one.
no, I need to add a question. I'm sorry. Give yourself a knowledge point. I'm sorry. Because I need to add another question, actually, because there should be a question between events. Okay. Go ahead and make your check.
Success.
Yes. Okay. Now I'm glad we were a lookout. We're fighting the Nazis.
Excellent. So, 3 more successes. You succeed. Alrighty. If you're successful, Han puts up the blindfold and you help him get back home without being seen. Gain a survivor card and a morality card. And if you tried to help but failed, you gain a suspicion card and a morality card. Okay, how did Hitler gain a position in the government? A, his stormtroopers overthrew the government. B, he had the German president assassinated. C, he won significant Democratic support. Or D, he launched a coup.
C.
Sweet.
You are correct. Right, the first leaflet. Like Hans and Sophie, you have to engage in labor for the state before you can go to college, such as building roads or teaching kindergarten. Eventually, you get to the medical school in Munich University, which is where the Scholls are studying. Hey, you and the Scholls make friends with people from many different backgrounds, including Alexander Schumroll, who is Russian Orthodox, Christopher Probst, a Catholic, and Willy Graf, a Jew who had a Jewish stepmother. So it's interesting, he's not technically Jewish, right? Because it's his stepmother. But he is concerned about Jewish people. You discuss what must be done when living in a time of dictatorship, such as whether to act as a lookout or not. Right? Inspired by Catholic Bishop of Münster Clemens August von Galen, who openly criticized Nazi euthanasia program. Right? This guy said that was wrong publicly. That's inspiring. You all decide to borrow a typewriter and make a leaflet criticizing Nazi rule and calling for people to resist. The leaflet, entitled Leaflets of the White Rose, will be copied using a ditto machine and mailed to people from the phone book. And so this is where I would show the video that they make about how they're manufactured. But you remember, it's a lot of steps, right? Like you have to put down the ink and like roll it, all that stuff. It's not easy to do. So are you going to help with this process
Yes.
of making and distributing leaflets? Alrighty, if so, make a check.
Did we get it?
Yeah.
You got 3 successes?
3
did.
successes.
Alrighty. You succeed. You make the leaflets, distribute them, gain a survivor card and a morality card. All right. What were the Nuremberg laws? Were they A, laws that mandated that all inferior people be sterilized? B, laws that stripped German Jews of citizenship and made it illegal for them to have sexual relations with non-Jewish Germans? C, laws that made membership in the Communist Party a capital offense? Or D, laws that required that all Germans become members of the Nazi Party?
Pretty sure it's B.
Okay, yeah, B.
B. You are correct.
How do we read that?
Alrighty. So more people joined the group, including a Munich architect named Manfred Eichenmeier. He has an isolated studio where he will let students meet and store duplicating equipment and supplies. He discusses the bad things going on in Nazi-occupied territory, which is included in the second leaflet. The third leaflet calls for passive resistance and active sabotage of the government. The fourth leaflet criticizes Hitler and includes the lines, "We are your bad conscience." Are you going to continue helping with the production of these leaflets?
Yep.
Alrighty, make a check.
That's
Last
okay.
series we spend.
We spend.
And does this change it, or is it just a reroll?
It changes it.
Okay. We will spend.
It's not like the baby cards from modern China. Alrighty. Gain a survivor card and a morality card. Okay, which you'll find is not a reason why Jewish Germans might have been hesitant to leave Germany. A, the Nazis punished the family of any Jewish person who left Germany. B, it would mean abandoning their property. C, many hoped that they could endure. D, they would have had to find a place to go, and that was difficult.
Which influence not a reason why Jewish Germans might. Which influence not a reason. So the Nazi punished the family of any Jewish person who left Germany. So we're looking for 3 reasons and one that's not.
Exactly.
Or one of the, okay.
I feel like D. D or A.
I
Okay.
am feeling more D.
Okay, that's what I was
But-
feeling as well.
D.
Alright. Correct answer
Aw.
was A. Just A. They were fine with people leaving. Alrighty. You were called up in October, but you were successful, right? You were called up in October of 1942 as a medical student along with Hans and Alexander to serve in Russia as medics. Alexander speaks Russian and invites you to visit the homes of Russian peasants. Do you go?
Yeah.
Make a check. Again, we're looking for 3 successes.
Okay, that one was a success.
Well, was
I got knocked.
did we have it at 2?
Yeah, we
Or,
have to.
okay.
You're going to spend the knowledge.
Spend.
Okay. So, you gain a survivor card and a morality card. And then, in this case, this is another point where I play a video that talks about what war was like in Russia. But basically, they learn about the partisan war, about the burning of villages and mass killing of civilians. So, not fun. So you learn the Nazis are even worse than even you thought, perhaps, if that was possible.
Terrible.
Okay. Which of the fun? I just want, for people listening, you already had to go through like World War II today in China, and now you're doing it in Germany. It's just like, I don't
a bad
know.
day.
Everyone's, it's a tough day. Which of the following statements about Jewish people in Germany is false? A, the Nazis saw Jewishness as religious rather than racial or biological. B, there was a tradition of anti-Semitism in Germany. C, some Germans blame Jewish people for their country's loss in World War I and contemporary economic problems. Or D, in order to justify the extermination of Jewish people, they might be compared to rats.
I'm going to go with A.
Oh, yeah. A. I was thinking. Yeah, A.
A.
Yeah, you're correct. It was the opposite. It was the opposite. That's why it's, it's in, what was it? Yeah, you couldn't escape. All right, the group expands. You return, and the White Rose continues to expand with Professor of Philosophy Kurt Huber joining. It also builds connections with other cities. You're invited to travel to another city and to mail out copies to a third city from there. And the idea is that makes it harder to trace you, right? You go to one city, send stuff from there, so it's a different postmark than what you would have. So you might live in Munich, but you're sending it from Bonn. So they don't know to check in Munich, they know to check in Bonn. Do you help?
Yes.
Alrighty, make your check.
We failed.
Oh no. So you gain a, let's see, suspicion card and a morality card. Okay, which of the following statements about Nazi Germany before World War II is false? A, Hitler would send troops to the demilitarized Rhineland. B, Hitler would expand the army and create an air force in violation of the Versailles Treaty. C, Hitler would invade Denmark. Or D, Hitler would annex Austria and seize much of Czechoslovakia.
I think C.
Yeah. C.
You are correct.
Yeah.
Alrighty. A 6th leaflet is being written by Professor of Philosophy Kurt Huber. Hans Alexander really feel like they need to do something now. They want to paint slogans, freedom, down with Hitler, and Hitler the mass murderer on walls and buildings. Do you help?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, make a check.
No. Yeah,
We
failed.
feel
Oh,
bad.
no. All right.
Out of morality.
So you try to help, and things just didn't go well. You think someone saw you, so you gain a suspicion card and a morality card. And there's some of the actual graffiti that's partially been cleaned off, so you can't actually read it. But that's the actual stuff they wrote.
We're all out of morality.
You're out of morality. That's interesting. Okay, I think that might be okay. We'll find out.
I think the answer to this one might be the Soviet
Oh
Union.
man,
But I'm not sure.
which country did Hitler sign a non-aggression pact with?
The Soviet Union.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, I'm confident we.
Yeah, I
We
think
would have
so.
gotten that, yeah.
Hans and Sophie go to distribute the 6th leaflet during classes at their university. And what happens is Sophie and they distribute a lot of them, they get them all covered, and they have some left over. And so Sophie goes up to this balcony and then just throws them all there, and they all flutter down, and it looks really cool. But then the janitor sees them, right? Janitor Jacob Schmidt spots Hans and Sophie and informs the Gestapo. The building is locked down, and Hans and Sophie are arrested. The leaflets are collected, and they fit neatly into their suitcase because they try and make this argument, those weren't our leaflets, that we just have an empty suitcase because we were going to go and pick up laundry, but the leaflets fit inside perfectly. Hans tries to tear up drafts of a leaflet written by Christoph, but is caught. Rooms are searched, leading to the discovery of more evidence, stationery, machine, and paint. And also, Sophie kept an account book with names. And you may remember one theme in this class. If you're a member of a secret organization, do not write down the names of
the
your
people.
members. Poor Sophie, I don't know why. Sophie,
She
why?
just-
It's that German organization. She just couldn't
Shake it.
give up on it. Sophie, no. Everyone so far, mentioned so far, is eventually found and arrested, right? So every single person we talked about, except I think the bishop, he maybe got arrested later, I'm not sure, but he's not arrested because of this. So you gain 2 suspicion points, just automatically.
Man, Sophie. Freak.
And
No, she
there
was
are
doing
the-
a good thing.
She was trying. And there's their mugshots, which... So Sophie at trial says what we have said and written is what so many people believe, only they don't speak up. Robert Scholl, her father, says there's a higher law before which we must all stand. He gets 2 years of hard labor for basically being the dad. They are all executed by guillotine. The Germans also did that. And the prison chaplain, who was sympathetic to them, said, "Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends," quoting the Gospel of John. Later, these leaflets, they would fall into Allied hands, and they would print them and then drop them over Germany. So give them even more of a kind of, distribute them even more. So what happened to you? Count your survivor and suspicion points. And that's why you ran out of survivor points, or morality points, because that's all there are.
5 suspicions.
7 morality.
Already, so...
Oh,
Oh,
survivor.
survivor.
4.
4 survivors, 5 suspicion.
Okay, more suspicion points than survivor points. Make a check.
Man, I hate this stuff. Oh my gosh.
Do you have any knowledge left?
We have not enough.
Not
We
enough.
failed all of them.
I'm sorry, you are arrested and executed for your role.
It's for a good cause.
Talk about a bad day.
So, okay, but how many morality points did you have?
7.
You have no regrets about your actions and are content with
Okay.
your
Yeah,
fate.
no, I am. I'm
Yeah.
content. But
You did good work. It was
bad
just,
day, you know.
It was a bad day. You get executed. So
Eh.
at least it means you're spared having to play more games and lectures about World War II. Hopefully, in a big deal with that. Okay, so what did you learn from this experience?
It's really, really hard to fight Nazis and do it like well without getting caught. You have to,
Right? Was that
even if you're doing like a good job,
Right.
there's always something that can come up.
Yeah.
We were pretty successful, but the suspicion ended up getting us.
right? You were only one down. Like it
Mhm.
was, I think if it was a tie, and I might need to recount because I maybe made that a little bit too hard. But usually people have more. I think you just had bad luck.
I feel like I survived the first time. Like I
Right,
did
most
a
people
good
survived.
job the first.
Well, even if you do a good job, right? Like it's just you just have bad luck.
I think I had great luck.
But I think I made it a little bit more difficult. I said you need 2 points instead of 1,
Mm-hmm.
just to make it. Because I was like, it can't be easy. Like we need at least
Yeah.
some people to lose. I mean, we all win when we resist the Nazis.
We did.
But,
Right.
yeah. Any thoughts, Jackson? Or
I had one. I think just that you can see the importance of speaking out, even though it was really difficult, especially the tie-in with the PowerPoint, with the Allies dropping their leaflets
Right.
and their
Mhm.
legacy lives on, even after they were caught.
yeah. This is something that they really remembered well in Germany too. It's kind of like some of us did try.